Welcome back, Rivals. This is Xonia, and you are in the zone. I hope you all had a great Christmas or holiday or whatever you celebrate, and I hope you were able to enjoy time with your family or wherever you were. Today I'm going to be showing you all of the cards with words in Urban Rivals. I came down with a 103-degree temperature. For those of you on the metric system, that would be over 39.3, I believe. So I'm not feeling all that good right now, but I promised you that I would get this video out, so I'm not going to be able to do anything else. I was hoping because of break starting on Christmas that I would be able to do a little bit more for you guys, but right now, just no possibility. I've been lying flat on my back, and yeah. So anyway, let's get to it. Remember the rules for these. All words must be in the picture, and it must be a full word showing, and it must be in English. Don't forget, things that count as words are character names, articles like a, an, or the, brand names with a real word in them. So something like cheese curls has cheese in it. Not words are things like clan names, artists' names, numbers, onomatopoeia, acronyms, and fake brand names. Normally clan names would count, but I decided to leave it out this time because there are actually quite a few cards that have their clan name written on their shirt. And so I want to make sure that you're actually paying attention to which cards are actually getting words on there. So let's go ahead and without further ado take a look at these. First, from All Stars, we have 6. Asperov, Crazy Carlo, El Gringo, Miss Jessie, Mulligan, and Randy. You win, Clint City's Comets, Supracreatins, creatins being the word, Miss from Miss Jessie, the Urban Rivals insignia on the Book of Mulligan, and Demons being on Randy's shirt. Next up in Bangers, I actually decided that 2 of these would count as potentially yes, and one of them is definitely a no. So we have B-Ball, Clora, DJ Alberto, 50, Graph, Crink LD, Lucio, Pearl, Some Sam CR, and Sid Knows RB. With B-Ball, Big, Street, Go to the. 50 was a grab because I think it says Scar. I'm pretty sure it says Scar, but because I can't tell if it's Scar or Star, that means that it's not really visible. And so to me, I would count that as a yes or a no. Then we have Paint. We have Color, Lucio, as you can see on his hand right there. I thought Pearl was one of those awesome cards that everyone thinks, oh, Pearl, because she has the little, speech bubble with poop in it. But actually, on her can of paint, it says Paint. Then we also have Some Sam CR, which says Mama, but this one I decided to count as basically a no, because on his belly it definitely says Mama, but it is covered enough that I don't think that it should count as a word. And then Sid Knows RB does say Pal, and Pal, I couldn't decide between Some Sam and Sid Knows, so I decided that one of them I would count as a no, and one of them is a maybe, giving you guys a little more room to try and get the correct answer. For Berserk, we had 6 more. Bernie, Boyle, Cornelia, Elmer, Graven, and Jeffrey. We have Red One, Clint City, Cornelia, her name tag. I had to open this up in Paint in order to look at the full-size artwork, in order to notice that it actually does say Cornelia very clearly on her name tag. Chips, I from I Heart CC, Clint City on Graven, and Bowling Club Clint City from Jeffrey. Feng Pai Clang, one of the few that did not have any words. Now they do have a lot of kanji, many different Chinese characters as well, but unfortunately nothing in English. Freaks, we have 4 more. We have Olga, Quasi Choco, Soshi, and Wanold. We have Milk, Chocolate Candy, Bamboo, and Ketchup, or also Incredible Show on the side, depending on how you look at it. But I thought Ketchup was a little more interesting to show for Wanold. For Frozen, again, actually no one I could find in Frozen had any words in their name. For Geist as well, there were no cards with words on them in Geist. I was very surprised. For Hurricane, we had 4, Devil Dog, El Chiquito, Miss Derby Queen, and Petite Coke. We have Hell, Urban Rivals, Noctizuma, Miss, and Flower on Peacocks. For Jungo, we have Abby, Beauregard, Byron, Dianzi, Gerald, Hopper LD, Jean, and Scotty. 8 from Jungo. We have Clint Fashion, Mojo, Voodoo for Dummies, Central Urban Agency, Kiss the Cook, obviously, but Kiss the is more than enough, Kitchen, and Yo. Up next, Junks is either 2 or 3, depending on whether or not you want to count Core on Onyx's shirt. So Onyx, Rowdy, and Skylar, I decided to not count it overall, but to give it to anyone to give a little bit more wiggle room in case they missed it. Rowdy has Heavy on his yellow warning tag, and Skylar has many different things written on her mixing cup. La Junta, 7 to 8. Brianna Davis, Ed 12, Emeth CR, Molly Naginata, Trish Uxo, and Victor. Born to Burn, Red Cow. Ha ha ha, Red Bull, I get it. Ed 12. I said that numbers don't count, but if it's part of the name, Ed 12, that definitely does count, guys. I decided to make Emeth CR a kind of, because you can't specifically see all of the word nitro, but he does have a second bottle that says NIT on it in his other pocket. So technically you could piece together that it is the word nitro, but I decided to go ahead and count it as not specific because it wasn't a full word. It would have been 2 instances of the word nitro. We have Lunch, Napalm, Welcome, Uxo. Uxo was very close. I looked on his landmine, and at the bottom of the landmine it says Explosifs, which is French, not English, so it does not count. And then Victor's Drone for Dummies. For the leaders, there was 1, Hugo, Clint City, or Cody Ron. For Montana, we have 6 to 7, Ed CR, Ficanasso, Giacomo, Gianfranco, Lorenzo, Mona, Simon, and Walter Bianco. We have DVD player, Clint News. Giacomo I decided to count as a yes or a no because to me, I think it's pretty clear that his hat says pizza, but it is a little bit fuzzy, so I'm not going to count that as a definite. We've got Turf, X50 Mark. Mark is word. X50 Mark II. Merci is on Mona, and yes, we may say it a lot in English, but it is not English. It is definitely French. So Mona's Merci does not count. Simon has Laws written on his book, and Walter Bianco has Little Chemist. Up next from Nightmare, we have WLD, Mr. Rock, and Ozzy. Candy Jack, Party Pack, Love, and Rock Metal. Actually, quite a few there on Mr. Rock's tags. Piranhas, we had 3 more. Bonnie LD has Rice, and also on her level 1, I believe, and maybe it's her level 2, it says Rum, but RHUM is not the English spelling of rum, which means that Coleridge does not count, and Rascal also does not count, because all of them say rum, but that is not the correct spelling in English. Goldie and Miss Elizabeth also count. Goldie was probably the most frustrating card in the game because she has a real map of Europe superimposed upon her body, and so I literally had to search all over for a word that I felt everyone would be able to agree, yes, that is an English word, yes, that does count as a word, and I was able to find Belgium on her left arm via her tattoo, as you can see in the picture. And then we have Miss Elizabeth, again with Miss. Up next in Pussycats, we have 5 to 6. Clover, Clover Noel, Effie, Ella, Jane, and Lena. We have Fragile, Now I Have a Machine Gun, ho ho ho. Urgent, No. I wasn't sure about Jane. I could not tell if that was supposed to be a word or not. It kind of looked to me like the word crew, but because I can't tell what it is, or maybe you thought it was a word, I decided to go ahead and count it as a possible. So if you did count it, you wouldn't be penalized for Jane's belt buckle. And then Lena has no and out on her side. For Raptors, Raptors only has 1, and it's by Def Blake, Hot. Rescue only has 2, and one of them was very tricky, Pierce and Wolf. Pierce has Hospital, Slow, and Red One on both of his artworks in 1 and 2. Wolf, as you can see in the far right-hand arm display, on his level 5 artwork, it says Pain. In Riots, we have 2, Archimedes and Mulder. I actually thought it was really interesting to see Archimedes. Jocelyn the Flying Machine. That means that Jocelyn is the name of his machine. It's perhaps one of the only times where a thing has been named in artwork, but not in the bio. Kind of interesting, I thought. And then Mulder has his tattoo of Mom. Up next from Roots, we have 7. Ben, Bishop, Gurchin, Mike and Moose, Miss Nova, Rico, and Walden. Ben's Cake, Xantiax, Green, Nuke, Miss Clint City, 2014, Give, and Travel on Walden's. Up in Sacrom, we've got 4 to 5. Belmundo, Lilu, Miss Stella, Makra, and Venus. Belmundo has probably the most words or the most complete kind of ideas or thoughts of all the cards in the game. Belmundo with 4 sales sold out, New, More Dangerous, and Pay or Die. Lilu has her card. If you have watched the English version of Fifth Element, you know that it's called a multipass. But that is technically not a word in the dictionary, and so while it is a real word that people do use to reference that, I didn't think that it was fair to count it as a real word for those of you who may not be from the English-speaking part of the world, and you were trying to do this based simply on what you could find in a dictionary, so to say. And so I didn't want to count it against you, because watching the movie in a different language might have resulted in you having a different name for it altogether, and so that wouldn't be fair. Miss Stella, we have Miss in Clint City again. Makra, on his level 1 artwork, has Hopeless written on his UFO. And then Venus has Miss written on her sash. Up next in Sentinel, we have Irene, Melissa CR, Miss Chloe, Pavel, and Rick. Irene, I love something. I can't really tell what it says. I think it says Geeks. Anyway, next we have Ears Kill, then Action, Top Secret, and I Heart Mum. So the I is good enough there. Here in Skills, we've got 3 more from Manfred, Minerva, and Miss Zingshu. Manfred with Physics, then Math, and Miss Clint City 2015. Up next in Uluwatu, we have Miss Bikini on Gabrielle, then we have Miss again on Miss Lulaby, and then Numar has Waves Power written on his bag for 3 more in Uluwatu. Only 2 more clans to go, guys. Next up, we've got Uppers. Bert, Christelle, Hefty, Lady, MacArthur, and Sean East, 6. Bert has 1,000 million, Clint Lottery, Clint City Bake, all kinds of stuff written on his check. Christelle has Clint's written on her last artwork. Hefty has Hot Food Tube on all of his stuff. Lady has Crime Scene, Do Not Cross all over her in her first artwork. MacArthur has a gold car written on his gold car, and Sean East was very tricky because it says Gangsta Forever, and I wouldn't count Gangsta, but I will count Ever. Ever is definitely a word. And last for Vortex, we've got Bubblegum with Sweet Vortex, but Sweet is the only one that counts there in the bag. This leaves us with a total of 96 to 104. There are a total of 96 to 104 cards in the game with words on their artwork. I was really surprised to find out about this, and this took me a long time to look up, guys. I thought this was just a neat little thing, just to kind of see what some of the details have been placed on the artwork that maybe we've missed out on, and a few more things that we can add to the lore of each character, and other little hints like Red Cow that maybe you didn't see on Davis. With that, thanks again for watching, guys. If you like the video, then please feel free to like it and favorite it. Don't forget to share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more of my Urban Rivals videos. This is Xonia, and you are in the zone.